So you're here because you want to know how I started a trucking business. Didn't know anything about the trucking business. Well, you're at the right video. You're here to get started. You're thinking about trucking. You're thinking about, should I get into the business? You're thinking about, is it going to be profitable? Regardless of what you hear out there, it has, like any business, it has its ups, it has its downs, it has whatever you think you can go through a business. And you have to prepare yourself. You're going to have long days, long hours. You're going to either need to know how to dispatch, or you're going to need to have no experience, zero experience. So can it be done? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. Should you do it? Yes, is the question. The answer to that question. So let's get in this video. We're going to start. Basically, I was probably your typical working a 9 to 5. I hadn't leased on to nobody. I hadn't even been behind a semi-tractor trailer truck. I didn't go to trucking school. But I did go to school for business. So, I'm kind of smart in the business. Did I do my numbers? Did I even watch a trucking video? I didn't even watch a trucking video. I just said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to start. And I am 3 years in and I'm successful. You can look me up, Visible Visions Transport. I'm on the FMCSA. So, and hey, I do all my paperwork. Now I'm very proficient in the trucking business. But again, that's not what you come to hear. You come to hear, how did you do this? We haven't known probably anyone to start a trucking company with no experience, no trucking background. Well, I'm here to tell you it can be done and you can be successful. Basically, I started. So the first thing, in order to start a trucking business, you have to have a business. So you have to set up your business. That's not for this video. That's for another video. And I do have a website where you guys can get one-on-one with me. And you can also then again get into one of those classes to actually know how to put it together. And then I might drop little snippets of videos or kind of giving you that motivation and that push. But basically, after you have your business, you need a truck. I didn't even know what kind of truck to go with. How did I start? Where did I look? I had looked at many trucks. And you want to know, where did I get this money from? I got this money from working a 9 to 5, like I said, like any one of you, working countless hours. I even was a plant worker. I did a lot of different varieties of jobs. And I found out being my own business owner is the best position for me. I'm not built for any one job, and I'm not gonna knock anyone that is, because we have to do what we got to do in times of needing and having to provide for either ourselves, our family, our kids, or any loved ones, So it's okay. Whatever you do, just do it and do it well. But to furthermore get into details is that I had to look for a truck. The truck was the hardest but easiest thing for me. And at that time, that was back in 2020, right when COVID hit. I was also going through a little situation. At that time, I had 4 boys, being a single mother. So in my mind, I had to think about, what is the best business that I can put my hard-earned money for? Because the situation that I'm going through, is going to put, I have to make sure I'm providing for my kids, and I need to be there for them emotionally. So me being that 9 to 5 worker, or me working in a plant, sometimes I would even go to out of state and work for maybe a couple of months. And with that, made it hard because I'm not around my kids. I have a reliable babysitter, trust me, which is one of my parents, was very reliable there, and I thank them for pushing me along the way. But again, it was to find this truck. So I done worked these hours, I done saved my money, and if anyone who found this video work with me at any other plans, they can vouch that I was on my last hitch, and that was actually in Chicago. I was in my last year. I love me some Chicago, I must say. Chicago's a nice place to visit, despite what you hear. There are some friendly people, despite what you hear. So I was in Chicago on my last hitch, working in a plant. Actually, I was like fire watch, hoe watch, whatever you call those things. I don't know if they still call them those things today. And I kept repeating, this is my last hitch. I can't do this more. Every dollar that I'm going to take, every dollar that I'm going to make, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to start my own business. At that time, didn't know what it was. I was just like, I'm going to start my own business. So, lo and behold, trucking business. I had to find this truck. I looked high and low for this truck. And lo and behold, despite what you hear, even though, yes, now I started with an international. Oh, and you know they tell you to stay away from those Mac Force engines. I got me an international with a Mac Force engine. So I started off with an international. I didn't start off with a Peterbilt. I didn't start off with a Kentworth. Because, look, I'm getting into this business. I don't want to pour so much into a truck, and I'm not a driver. I don't know much about this business. So I want to put as minimum as possible, because if it fell, I won't be taking a big loss, even though I was putting everything I worked for to be successful. Did I lease on to someone? No. I said, if I'm going to start a trucking business, if I'm going to do this, and if I'm going to fail or if I'm going to win, I'd rather invest in me and fail than invest in someone else and fail. So you know what? I got this truck, this international truck with a Mac Force engine. And it was not deleted. Let's talk about it. So the next thing was, I had to go get this truck. Remember, I don't have a CDL. So I can't drive my truck. I have to find someone with a CDL to drive this truck. And not only with that, I need to find a person, because I don't know nothing about it. I need to make sure that I'm getting a good investment. Even though, regardless, I was going to take that truck to, and I did. I took it, and I'm going to look for the video, hopefully, and I can show you my first truck. I'm going to have to put that video up there for you guys. But I took it to the shop, but I needed to have somebody to drive it, so I searched. Bam! Someone came through for me. A driver. Driver had their own job. I paid them, hey, I gave them so much amount of money to go and with me to go grab my truck, bring it back. The plans wasn't for that individual to be the driver, right? I just needed him to come with me and just drive my truck. I didn't really need him to check it out, because I was going to drop it to a truck shop and let them check it out. Even though the person, and I probably still have my text messages to this day, even though the person who sold me the truck told me this, that, and that, everything about the truck. If there's something wrong, he gave me paperwork of it being fixed, because I needed that. I'm just starting this off with it. This person, when I say sold me the truck, a good truck, might I add, for little of nothing. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but I remember that day vividly when he handed me those papers. He was like, he didn't want to let it go. So I don't know what he was going through. He was like, it's really been good to me, and I hope it be good to you. And it was. So I got this truck. That's the first thing you're going to make sure you have you a good truck. He had already did the temporary license plate for me, and I placed in there in tow. Wow. I done made this big purchase. It's time to get it going. The first person was going to be my driver was my option is because my brother, he has it. You know, he has it. He stays in a whole nother city, not too far from me. But I didn't want a local driver. I just made this big investment, and I had to make sure that I make my money. I had been watching a load board. That was the only thing someone told me about a load board. And I watched the profit, and I looked at it, and okay, I'm going to be able to do it. But now I can't, just because I have a truck doesn't mean now I'm a carrier. Now I'm in the trucking business. Now I got to get these papers in order. Now I need to make sure I have to be my UCR. I got to be MFCSA legal, DOT, ready for an audit. Like, I have to do all those things. And it's more to come. Like I said, I have classes that teach those things. But, wow. Like I said, I got this truck. I'm ready to start. I found me someone that can be able to come and move my truck. So here it goes. Next thing you know, the driver comes with me. Well, the individual, because he wasn't my driver. The individual comes with me. They get me there. We bring the truck to the shop. The truck was like, yes, this and all that is good. And was kind of telling me, hey, you still got that def. I guess there's a lot of issues with the def, but I don't want to start off wrong, right? I need to start off correctly. I don't want to start off incorrectly. So, and I want to stay in compliance, regardless of what issues. I have to stay in compliance. If you want to be profitable and you want to start a trucking business with no experience, you have to dot your I's, cross your T's. Regardless of what shortcuts someone tell you to do not take shortcuts. Do what you need to do. So, got this truck. This individual comes with me. We bring it to the shop. They actually drove it from where I went go get it from the buyer to the shop. Before I even put in the shop, that individual was like, this is a good truck. This is a good truck. I was like, okay, good. I'm glad. But I'm still going to put it through this shop. So I actually put it to the shop and paid the money to check it out, just to do it. Just to run diagnostics and to do everything to check thoroughly around this truck before I make this purchase. I'd rather pay that little bit of money than lose this big old lump sum of money that I'm placing into this truck, right? So now that that's done, the individual drive the truck back for me. And once the individual drives the truck back for me, they then say, hey, didn't know like who, we just questioned it. They driving the truck. They drove it all the way back from Texas out here to Louisiana. So got this truck, drove it to Texas, out here Louisiana. I'm a female in this industry. I don't have no man to talk to guide me through this process at all. So, and this individual kind of was, because he had experience. He had his CDL for about 5 years going, whatever that situation may have been. And he was working a top of the line job, I tell you, a top of the line job for a whole nother company. Not driving trucks, but for the city. It's hard for it's hard for any man, any person to work for a city, especially, So but he was wanting to get back into the trucking business. So now I got this truck. I'm getting my papers in orders. I even figured out a way. It is a few shortcuts, legal shortcuts, how to get your paperwork processed fairly quicker than those 30 days allotted time. Now, those are shortcuts, you just got to be on top of everything. I had to get this insurance. So, I didn't know much about, insurance, trucking. I need insurance. Oh my God. So I need insurance to be legal. Got to have my paperwork. Got to make sure I have my FMCSA number, my MC numbers. That's what they call my DOT number. That's what they're called. And I have to get all this together. So I'm getting all this together. And with getting all this together, I'm needing to get DOT certified. So I'm waiting to make sure I get certified. It's the process. At that time, I didn't know how to go and it could have saved me a lot of money. But again, I didn't know. So I found like a processing agent. But now I know how to do my own, get DOT numbers and MC numbers. I know how to do my own paperwork. I have learned a lot since this interview. You stay with me, you're going to learn a lot too. So I have to go ahead and get certified, get all of this. Now, still, I don't have a driver. And didn't know that this individual was thinking about getting back into the trucking business. But anytime I needed something done on my truck move, I would call that individual. Either give him something or sometimes he would do it out of love. And I appreciate that very much. I found a person that could totally wanted to see me succeed, seeing that I was trying to handle my business and wasn't trying to knock me upside the head with prices or doing things for me, because he could have, because he knew I didn't know anything. So why not take advantage of the person I know don't know anything? Whatever he would have said, it would have been okay. But he didn't. He took me as like, look, he even asked, hey, let me be your driver. Let me be the driver or whatnot like that. And if you're looking for a driver, now I didn't even know what you're supposed to pay a driver. That's how off it was. I was like, so, I'm sitting with him like, how what I supposed to pay you, like how it's supposed to go. I don't know much about it. Now I'm getting legal. I'm ready to run. It took a while for the process. For me now, it'll probably take me a month, the most, if that, if someone needs to go through it. But when I didn't know, it took me about maybe 2 months, the most. I still have all my paperwork, and I'll share that with you guys if you are interested. And I got my driver. I still don't have a CDL of my own. I'm not even in school, but in the back of my mind, I was already thinking that if I'm going to get in the trucking business, I'm going to have to know about this truck. So I'm going to have to go and eventually get my own CDL, just to have it, just in case, because you never know. I don't want to be in a business and I can't even operate it, even though I'm operating it. So I get this driver. We agreed. And he didn't even ask for much. I'm appreciative of that. He just was like, hey, I just want to see you win and all of that. So, wow, that was amazing. I got the driver. I got my own paperwork. So I got all my paperwork together. I got my driver willing to go. Still didn't know I needed what you call those driver's logs. I didn't even know about a driver log. I learned a lot of things on the way. I didn't know about a driver's log. And the driver's log, you can go get those from one of those, any truck stop or, order them online and stuff like that. I'll probably have like an Amazon links later where you guys can just click on it from my page and go ahead and just get some of the things that you may need if you're thinking about starting a trucking business. But He had to say, you need a driver. I didn't even know how many hours, you hear me, that a driver can drive. I'm thinking, oh, they can drive, they can drive, they can drive. My driver had to say, hold up, wait. You do know that you can only drive so many, and I didn't even know that. Again, I told you, I started this trucking business without a CDL. I started this trucking business, have never been in a semi-tractor trailer before, didn't drive it, nothing, didn't be to school, any other things, and I started it, and I just started. So the best things to do if that you want to do it is start it. Getting the right people in place is the main thing. And trying to cut back on a lot of costs, because you don't know if you're going to be successful. And those loads or something. I had a driver, I wanted to, and the best thing, if you're going to be successful, I'm going to let you know that the first people you need to think about before you think about anything is your drivers. Keep those drivers paid correctly. Make it worth their while for being on this road, for being away from their family, to spend these long hours dealing with these shippers, dealing with these receivers. It's very draining. It's very upsetting. And then depending on, these brokers, they've been and told you something and it's all wrong. And the person behind that seat that is driving your truck, that's who has to deal with it all. Even though you're on the backhand, this driver is away from their family. And try to kind of see what your driver want to do. If your driver don't want to go here, try to accommodate them. It's many loads, many boards, and if whatever area they want to be in, try to keep them in that area. And if that's a driver that I want, do not get that driver. They won't last. I'm letting you know. The first thing, and if you're an owner-operator, it's much easier. You kind of know. But for people that want to be like me to start it without any experience, don't want to be behind the wheel, best thing to do is take care of your drivers. I cannot stress that enough. Take care of your drivers. They need to be the first people getting paid from any load that you do. Anything, like I'm saying, because they're the ones that are making your money. They are ones that's dealing with more than you can probably deal with. You don't know what stress they are at home dealing with. Check on your drivers. Check on them. See how they doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them, promise them one thing and you don't execute it. Anything you let them not execute, because you don't want a driver to get exhausted, frustrated, overworked, burnt out, and then just quit. And if you don't have no CDL, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So, first thing in starting is fine. To get you a good truck, did that international ran for me, despite what they say about Mac Forces. I'm still here, right? So know that it can work for you. So I'm going to end this video with letting you guys know. First thing in starting a trucking business, when you think about anything, doing everything correctly. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Don't try to go get anything that you know will put you behind the back end. If you know it's wrong, don't do it. Start off legit. Move legit. Get your paperwork in order. And if you want to be successful after you get all your paperwork in order and get everything, find that truck and get it on the road. You want to be successful? You want to make it in this industry? You want to do this and you want to do it with no CDL, no prior experience? Take it from me. Take care of your drivers. Listen to your drivers. Drivers are the success of your business. He's ready. I'm so happy. There she goes. I gotta. Yes, Lord. Oh, the new tires. And she's ready. Thank you, God.